Welcome everyone. We are going to be going live with Jasmine, and she's going to be telling us about her amazing story going from rolling burritos as an employee for Chipotle to how she's now raising over $3 million in raising in private capital. So I am super excited. Here she is. I'm going to be adding her on now. Just sent you a request. All you have to do is accept. There you are.
Hey,
Hello.
Miranda.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to your first live.
I know, so excited. At first, I was like, I'm a little nervous, but it's just a nice
Yeah,
conversation, I guess.
exactly. Super casual. I love being people's first live, so I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And I feel like, everything happens for a reason. I'm just so happy I met you. If people don't know, we originally met at the RPM meetup in LA after the Invested conference, and
Yeah.
you just like wowed me with your story. So I'm super happy that you agreed to come on because I'm so excited for you to share this with everyone.
Awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you for having
Well,
me.
yeah, of course. And do you want to start out with just telling people about yourself and how you got started?
Yeah, of course. So, hey guys, my name is Jasmine Ruidera. I'm a licensed real estate agent and investor and have been in the industry now for about 3 years. I first started when I bought my first rental back in 2021, which is the famous story of how I got into real estate investing altogether. Back in 2014, I actually met my business partner, Jose, and come full circle 7 years later. So he used to be my boss. And back in San Francisco, we used to work there when we were going to college. And full circle 7 years later, I saw that he was in SoCal when I was. And so we actually ended up linking together because I was like, hey, can you help me find my first rental? I'd appreciate it. I saw that you were a realtor. And so he actually ended up helping us. And during this whole transaction, he was just telling me about how he got licensed and, what he was doing with flipping and how he was going to get into it. And I was super inspired. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Come 2022, I actually quit my job at Chipotle. I was a GM. I had worked there for about 8 years. And so it was near and dear to my heart at that time. But I felt as if I wanted something more. I felt a little bit more valuable and I wanted to learn more. So yeah, quit my job, had no deals under contract or in the pipeline. But I would say it was one of the best decisions ever. But 14 days later, we started our LLC and began our journey, which was amazing. So that was really cool.
Oh my gosh. And if I remember correctly, now you have raised over 3 million in private
Yeah,
money.
almost, I believe it's 3.5 million now.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
oh my
crazy,
gosh.
crazy.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. And that was from 2022.
Yeah,
So in
so
two years.
we joined our mentorship, Raising Private Money with Amy Majori back, I believe, 2 years ago. Yeah, in July, I believe. And yeah, from then on, like you said, it's been about $3.5 million. And, we wouldn't be where we are today without it and what we've learned and everything that Amy has taught us. And, it's been able to help us grow and scale our business. And so, now we're at flip number 10. It's been an amazing journey. It's crazy to say out loud sometimes. So.
And that's the one you guys just posted on your Instagram, right?
Yes, the one in Lake Forest.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Well, we have a couple things going on, but my latest one, yeah, is in Lake Forest.
Okay. And it's now listed and ready for sale?
No, so that one's in rehab.
Okay.
So I guess just a little recap. We got one going on, hopefully closing on Wednesday, I believe. And the buyers are ready to go. We just listed one on the market just this past weekend, so hopefully getting offers on that. Have one in Rancho Palos Verdes, a week away from rehab and listing, I believe, maybe 2 weeks away from listing. And then our final one in Lake Forest, which is about 2 weeks into rehab. So 4 things going on at once right now. It's crazy. It's a blessing. It's a great problem to have.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're on fire. Oh my God, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that so much.
And I love that you've been documenting your journey and everything, because I could go on and stalk you and see all your projects.
Yeah, I
Like,
found out
I
that,
know which one you're talking
yeah,
about.
I find that people really love the progress videos and just the updates. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's redundant, but I feel like a lot of people actually like it. They like to see the progress. And so we're just going to keep going with it and keep posting that.
Yes,
So yeah,
please do. I'm gonna be
yeah, of
following
course.
along. But going back, so you went from buying your first property to getting into real estate, then finding RPM. And so what was that kind of transition like, just going from buying properties to then raising private money? Like what was that like switch?
Yeah, so obviously when I bought my first rental, it was just kind of me and my mom just kind of like, okay, let's just do this. I didn't really know anything about having my own business or anything like that. So when we kind of shifted on to becoming an LLC and then learning, you know, okay, am I going to be like putting my own money into every deal? And if so, how am I going to be able to scale?
Mhm.
So when we were introduced to Amy Missouri's mentorship, we were like, oh my gosh, this is mind blowing. We can do 2, 3 at a time if we wanted to, which is
Mhm.
obviously what we've been doing. And, you know, it's found us a lot of success to be able to raise all this private money. And so going from just using your own, waiting and feeling like, okay, 1 at a time, is
Mhm.
this really going to scale? To being able to do 3 at once, I think is just the most amazing feeling, because now I feel like there's so much more that you can accomplish. You don't have any limitations. And you're actually making everybody win in general, right? You're
Yeah.
letting lenders, you know, get interest on their money. You're also, you know, providing opportunity for construction teams and stuff like that. So I just believe that coming all together, it's just been quite different when you're able to scale and grow your business.
And when you started raising private money, did you kind of start like in your inner circle and then you expanded out, or did you immediately start by just, just regular people that you meet on the street?
Yeah, so it definitely was my circle of influence. Actually, my very first time raising money was from my aunt's uncle.
Oh.
Didn't ever really talk to him before, went to a pool party, saw that he remodeled his home. And, you know, it kind of came to this point where I was like, okay, Amy says we're supposed to talk about what we do everywhere we go to anyone and everyone, right? So I started kind of talking about what we were doing. At that point, we had gotten a deal under contract, and so I just wanted to talk about it with my inner circle. So family, friends, just started talking about it then. And now I guess word of mouth, like people who have worked with me previously have referred me to others. And now I'm starting to see me get a little bit more into the cold market, going to meetups, you know, meeting new people, very interested in what we're doing. So it's been exciting to see, you know, how much you can get from a warm market and how much you can also get from a cold market as well. So it's been exciting just kind of seeing both.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love that just because also what you said before, it's like it's a win-win. I mean, someone's going to be making that money. Like it's going to be either the bank or it can be your family, your friends, like anybody around you. So I love that you kind of like shifted that almost wealth. It's like as you're growing, the people around you are growing with you. And it's like
Yes.
it's so special, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I think that's actually been my favorite part, is realizing, you know, when I'm talking to my clients, it's, you know, hey, you've already worked hard to earn this money. Let's teach you how to, you know, make that money make money for you.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just rewarding them and actually, you know, finding out what they like, what they want, you know,
Hmm.
the dreams that they want to achieve, and then finding out what that is and then helping them get there together. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's more just about bringing teams together, bringing people together,
Hmm.
connecting them, and realizing we can all kind of do this together and, you know, be financially free somehow, some way or another. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And with your first deal, you said it was with your uncle, and now that mind shift, were you always comfortable with like bringing that opportunity to your friends and family, or did you kind of have that struggle? I know some people feel with like feeling like you're asking for money over giving an opportunity.
Yeah, that was, no, it wasn't this easy before. I was definitely terrified the very first time I raised money. I just kept hearing Amy's voice, like, don't
Yeah.
think, just do. Literally, that's what she would always text,
Mhm.
just don't think, just do. And, you know, I was kind of like, it's now or never. So in that deal, our previous private money lender had fell through. So obviously I was kind of like in a pickle, and I was already stressed out and really worried about the deal. So I was kind of like, it's now or never. You say it and you don't get it, or you say it and you get it, right? So I just took a chance. I went for it, took action, and just, I explained to him what we were doing, and he, then set another meeting, and I would never forget it because he wrote us a physical check for $75,000. And I remember thinking, holy smokes, this worked, and I'm going to keep doing it until I can't do it anymore. So
oh my gosh.
It was really cool. Yeah.
Like what do you call it, the switch flipped.
Yes. So I guess mindset wise, it was in the beginning feeling like, okay, am I asking people for money?
Yeah.
Am I, almost begging, but as I got more deals and realized, gosh, I'm providing opportunity for people. This is crazy. I'm allowing someone to have an opportunity to be the bank. And this is making your money make money. This is helping us make money. This is helping contractors make money. It was really a win-win situation for everyone. So I never went into the next, deal or into the next prospect as, hey, I'm asking for money. It was always about providing an opportunity. And that was a huge mindset moving forward from my first deal onto the next and every private money lender we've gotten so far.
Wow, that's incredible. It only took you one deal to get over that hump that I feel like people do, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it was one of those you tried it, it worked, so why shy away from that, right? So a lot of the times we're so nervous, and it's just at this point when you realize you've positioned yourself to be a power of providing opportunity, it just gives a whole completely different sense.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there saying hey, I'm actually helping you. You're not actually helping. We're helping each other, but I'm also really providing an opportunity. So in this case, if you don't want to, it's totally fine, right? And knowing, obviously denial hurts and rejection hurts, but it also is someone is going to want to say yes because it's helping them. And that's what you have to stick with.
And after that first deal, did you find yourself getting a lot of pushback here and there, or how did you kind of get over that pushback and not take it personally and rather just keep going till you found someone who said yes and realized the opportunity?
Yeah, so the first time, obviously, a lot of people are like, I don't know, this seems sketch. Are you a scammer? What is going on? And so building credibility was huge. It was really important. It was, I think the pave way to help us get to where we are. But what I really did was I started by asking my current private money lender if he knew anybody interested, because already I knew I was going to get a little bit of I guess trust coming from someone who had already done a project with me. And so I actually did do that, and I leveraged people that he knew. And so the next project, they actually went in on it together, and that's how I kind of built momentum. Because then after that, it was a second project that you've gotten under your belt, and now everyone's like, wait, what's going on here? I want to know more. Please tell me. Then it becomes more of just educating people, teaching them, and then having them be like, yeah, I'm in. So there wasn't really any pushback. I know there's a lot of people who are worried to pull the trigger with someone they don't know, but I think just really being transparent and talking to everyone and being overly communicative, I think has been one of the keys as to how, clients keep returning or new clients come.
Yeah. When you communicate throughout a project, do you just contact them once a month, or is it on a weekly basis, or
yeah, so once the project is closed and they're our private money lender, we actually put them on an email campaign that sends them project updates every 2 weeks. So we actually get the live footage, and we give them kind of what's been done this week and what's going to be done in the following weeks. And then we also just send progress photos, and that's about every 2 weeks.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome. You get the whole full album and booklet and everything. Bring them along for the ride.
It feels almost as if you're investing as well. Yeah. You're in that project, which you are, right, as a private money lender. Yeah. And again, we don't want to hide anything from our clients. We always want to make sure we're, overly transparent. Hey, this is what happened. Hey, we have a plumbing problem. This is what's going on. and just making sure that everybody knows what's going on so that we don't, catch ourselves feeling like we're hiding anything or anything like that. Yeah.
Is there any like pitfalls along the way as you've been going through different experiences with private money lenders that you have found that you'd like to share with anyone starting out?
Pitfalls,
Or like
fortunately,
errors?
yeah, I would say fortunately we've never really had any like bad experiences, mostly because we've always returned our money to the private money lenders, which has been an amazing thing, knock on wood. But I would say that one time we did, we communicated with our investor that, hey, our project is actually going a little overboard on your note, like in terms of how long their note was going for. So we just pretty much asked for an extension. But we were, again, back to the systems, being really transparent and letting them know, like, hey, it's sat on the market for a little bit too long. Is it okay? Obviously, you're still getting your interest on the money if we extend the note maybe a couple more months.
Yeah.
And, once you tell them the truth and everything that's going on, he was on board. And so everything really worked out. And it wasn't too bad. It was just, hey, maybe pay a late fee. But that was about it.
Okay. And do you find that like typical private money lenders that you've experienced, like shorter notes, longer notes?
Yeah, so everyone's actually different. A lot of the times people are like, yeah, sure, you can hold my money for a year. Other people want like, hey, I'd like the 6 months because I'm a little afraid that it'll go longer than that, and I want to see my money back. On average, our projects take about 4 to 6 months from start to finish anyway.
Okay.
But like I said, if something was on the market for a little bit longer, then, we could go 8 months or something like that. So I typically write my notes for about a year.
Okay.
But that's my sweet spot.
Okay. And I really love that the example that you use that it sat on the market for a little too long. Is there anything you put in the contract to like be transparent of like, hey, we have an option to extend a certain amount of months or anything like that in order to protect like your project and you?
Well, so in the beginning we actually didn't, but after that we did. And so we wanted to state that, and again, always make sure that we're, when the contract is almost expiring and let's say we haven't gotten an offer that we are willing to take, we kind of give them like a month advance, like, hey, this is what's happening. We don't foresee it closing at this time. Again, giving them this feel of what can happen and always giving them a plan of action as to what we're doing to be proactive to get it sold.
Okay, awesome. And on the other side of that, what about any tips or tricks you'd like to share with people starting out that you've kind of gained knowledge with on the way with experience?
Yeah, so I always think back, I always reflect a lot on raising private money because, again, I can't express how much has changed my whole life. But I would say number one is to really be transparent and authentic. Be true to you, because honestly, I would say most of the investors who want to invest with us is because they actually they don't not care about the property, but they always talk about, I'm not really investing in the property, I'm investing in you, right? And gaining the trust and being able to be someone that they, count on and stuff like that by either just meeting them or, like I said, just really being authentic and transparent to them, right?
Yeah.
Telling them your whys. Why am I doing this to begin with? Why am I even starting this, right? Why do I want you in on it? I obviously ask all my private money lenders, like, why do you want to invest? Like, what is it that you're doing this for? Some people are like, well, I just want to get an extra cash on the side, or like, hey, I want to build something, I want to do this. And, you actually connect with people who share their dreams. And so the more authentic you are, the more I would, I think that people would want to invest with you. And so that number one, for sure. But number two, I would say, is definitely have systems. Always have systems in place, because you can talk the talk, but if you can't walk the walk, it's really difficult. So I would say, like, just having, the resources and the tools. So, like, let's just say, a private money lender wanted to join. We already have, our packets that we send them, the promissory notes drafted up, all the tools that they need so that they stay organized, so that it's simple, it's easy, everything's accessible to them, and nothing's ever too difficult. So I feel as if once you have the tools and the systems, and, we've literally written step by step after every property what we do for each private money lender, for each deal. So keeping it very organized, I think has been really important. After you gain their trust, it only builds credibility after that.
Okay. And can you give an example of like what sort of systems, I know you already did, but like the actual system or process you use? Is there a certain like app or that you would recommend that you found that you liked better than others?
Yeah, so right now what we're using is Trello. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but we have like a card for each property. And so with that, every system, whether it's acquisitions, whether it's private money lending, whether it's the rehab, each one has steps where we've literally checked them off as we go so we don't forget. And you know, everything gets crazy, but once you have each step, you get a little check mark. Once you've done it, it becomes very systemized. And that way, again, the scaling, the growth in your business can truly, really like strive, because if every single project was different, I could tell you right now it'd be a huge headache. And so keeping it systemized and very organized, it would be super easy to just keep going and multiplying how much you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got so many projects going on. I'm like, there has to be some sort of system behind that. So thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna have to look into
it's
that.
definitely difficult with a lot, but like I said, it's gotten easier and easier with just learning and systems and just being able to refer back to what happened before, right? Like learning, hey, this wasn't that good, like, or hey, this is where we struggled the most, maybe we implement this and this. So each project has been different, but we keep adding to those steps every time. And so it's been really crucial to learn from your mistakes and from your past experiences, for sure.
Okay, and do you wear all the hats in this project, or have you hired on more like team members since the beginning?
So, as in team members of our business, it's just my mom actually, and Jose, who is my business partner. He's in charge of acquisitions, and we're on the more of the capital raising. Okay. And so, other than that, we really just because we are both agents, we're able to list, buy properties, list properties. Yeah. But we've obviously hired on or work with. Our contracting team right now, and they've done 8 of the 10 projects with us. So they've been quite amazing with just, aligning with our vision and what we want. They're organized, efficient. And so with that has been one of the vital, I guess, team members of our entire business is our contracting team. So shout out to JC Builders.
I love that. And how long did it take you to find that perfect team? Did it take a few kissing certain frogs to find the prince of all construction teams, or did you find it?
So our first one wasn't with them. Our second one was. So we kind of stumbled across a referral where they referred them to us, and they did the project so fast and so clean, and the work was just amazing compared to our first one. We then spoke about what our goals and what we wanted to do, because we felt as if they could perform in terms of how fast they move and the quality of work that they had. So when we were saying, hey, this is kind of what we want to do, we're able to scale through it once, can you do so as well? They were on board. And once that happened, I believe we connected. We've scaled out and tried to do some other projects with other people as well, but I would say we gravitate towards them just because they've built their team as well to do 3 at once. And I know that's really difficult for some teams.
Yeah, that's incredible. 3 at once for just that one team. I was thinking you had multiple different contractor projects.
I've used from the 10 3 different contractors. Okay. Who've maybe subcontracted sometimes, but for the most part, they've just kept it within themselves, and it's been amazing. And I'm, it honestly changed the game for us for sure. But every person on our team is so crucial, and we actually can't do it without each other. So realizing we really need to understand our roles and scale it, right? A lot of the times people want to be the best at every single thing. I know I was, right? I thought that was what was going to get me to get, farther. And I realized that, man, I'm really good at raising money. I'm just going to stick to this and really run with it and keep it going. And, although we all know each other's roles, I'm going to take in charge of this one. And, Jose is going to be in charge of acquisitions and stuff like that moving forward.
I mean, it sounds like it just all kind of happened organically. It's like you met Jose, and then all of a sudden you just like built this with your mom, and then it just so happened that you guys found different things that you have different strengths in that you really wanted to nourish, and then it just worked out like so evenly and perfectly. I love it. You guys sound like the dream team over here.
We like to call ourselves that for sure. But I would say because we are very transparent with what we want, right?
Yeah.
I think, you know, thinking back when Jose's like, I can see you raising so much money. I'm like, what are you talking about? I literally roll burritos. I don't know what you're talking about. And him just really believing in me and realizing, you know, I was like, hey, like, I actually really like doing this. He's like, no, I knew you were going to be great at it. And then realizing like, hey, I think you're really good at this. I don't need to take, you know, charge in this, but if I had to, I can. Yeah. But let's make it where you're doing what you're good at and I'm doing what I'm good at, and let's just see how far this can take us. And I feel like because we've been really transparent and knowing what we want, it's been simple to kind of just feel like our roles have been, you know, described perfectly. So yeah.
I love that. And, you know, with someone just starting out who's still building their team, still building their, you know, being credible and trust and everything, is there anything that people can do, like license-wise, certification-wise, other than, you know, word-of-mouth referrals? Is there anything else someone can do to build that credibility?
Honestly, just really talking to people, and the more people you talk to, because again, yes, you can be licensed, or, you know, as an investor, you don't have to be licensed. I think it definitely helps sometimes, but for those of, you know, for any investor out there who doesn't have their license at the moment, I would just say really learn what you've learned and apply it, right? A lot of times people are stuck in the analysis paralysis. Hey, I learned all this stuff, but I'm not going to apply it because I'm too nervous or I'm too scared. And I think most of the time it's once you've learned something, really apply it. That's what I felt like I was doing from the very first module that we learned was, okay, let me just go out there and do this. And once you get really good at explaining it, the credibility comes, right? Because we're not always going to know every single thing. And I think that's what a lot of people do is like, hey, I'm just going to keep learning this and learning it till I'm perfect. And the fact of the matter is you're always going to be learning and you're always going to be finding new things out, whether it's investing, whether it's private money lending, whether it's, oh my gosh, this plumbing is crazy at this house, right? Like there's so much to learn, but if you don't apply anything that you learn, honestly, it just kind of goes to waste. And I think just taking action and really just using it and applying it, I think. Yeah.
I love that. And okay, so starting, because I know this process, there's so much information and so much like people I feel like see online. Can you walk us through just like one of your projects of like how you found it, how you funded it, and what that kind of process was in between with the raising private capital as well?
Yeah. So most, you know, all our deals usually come from on the market or off market. I guess for this current project that we have in Lake Forest, we actually got it from a wholesaler. Shout out Ash, thank you so much. So once we get the deal under contract, what happens is that's the time, and usually it's between 40 to 30 days of closing time. So that's the amount of time we usually have to raise the money. So once we do have it under contract, all it is we have to raise pretty much the gap funding, because we usually have, you know, a hard money lender that covers the 80%. And so raising the gap funding just really means, you know, raising the rehab money, the closing costs, and the 20% left over. So what that consists of is if there aren't any, I guess, repeat investors that have rolled their money into this project, we then go ahead and send out a blast email with all the clients that we've ever listed down who has been interested in private money lending. So we send out a blast email. We post on all our social medias just to see if anyone bites. And once someone does, right, so we kind of just give the basic details of the project and say, hey, someone replies, and, you know, it's like, Miranda, hey, I'm interested. I want to, you know, I have 50,000. I'd like to invest. How does this, you know, where can I begin? So once we get a couple bites and we've raised all the money, then we go ahead and schedule to go ahead and notarize a promissory note, which then protects your money, right? Once that happens, we get that notarized, and then we go ahead and wire it to escrow, your funds to escrow. And once the project closes, or the property closes, so it's fully ours, we go ahead and get insurance on the property, so then you also have builder's risk insurance on it, and then we also can record that lien position for you as well. So your money is not only protected, it's insured and secured, backed by real estate. So it is a really it sounds like a really extensive process, but it's not. It's, once you learn it and get to it, it just provides less risk for the people who are investing. And so once that happens, again, we close the property, we go through construction, you get the biweekly emails until it's sold. And once it's sold, the lender gets their money plus interest, and hopefully then we repeat the process.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know I originally, it's a little scary out there thinking about it, but you make it sound so simple. I love the way
Honestly,
you
yeah,
just, like,
it's just learning it and applying it. Again, it was terrifying through every single, the first time I ever did it, and asking a bunch of questions, knowing you were new in the industry. It was difficult in the beginning. It's definitely not easy, but again, building up your credibility, getting another deal, proving them right, like, hey, I got your money back, this is a real thing, please go and share the word with other people, because this isn't, something I take lightly. It's obviously something really important to me. I think it's amazing that people, are allowed to, get more money off the money that they've made. So it's just, being able to really stand by what you know and keep after it. Like, after that first one we did, we were so hungry for more. We just wanted to keep proving lenders again, time and time again, like, hey, I can get you your money back. Just watch. Just, get your, give a chance to us, this and that. And it's not easy. You definitely have to be a really big people person. You have to, kind of understand, what the lender is looking for, what kind of person they are. Are they super technical? Do they like questions? Are they risk takers? Are they just like a let's take it and go? Are they, really critical about every single thing? And I've catered to plenty of different lenders, but I think about it as they're just actual people, and once you just do it that way, I feel like you get to learn, how personalities work, and how, they like to be spoken to, and how they like to be worked with. And so I think that although it sounds easy, it definitely is about knowing, a lot of people and personality traits and stuff like that, and getting, people to ultimately trust you isn't always the easiest thing to do. But like I said, being transparent, authentic, true to myself, I think has been the key to success, I would say. Yeah.
I know I said easy. I feel like I should replace that word with simple. It's a lot simple.
Got
Like,
it.
it sounds simple, not
Yeah.
easy. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's
Because
definitely
the
gonna be hard work.
steps, definitely the steps. It wasn't always simple and organized. We were chaotic and crazy, but after each project, writing everything down after each project, like, oh my gosh, I forgot we did this, or hey, don't forget that this happened in this project, and it may happen in the next one, so let's always like cover for that. So it's never ending. We actually add in new steps. We actually changed our promissory note maybe like 5 times, right, just to see how we can improve our tools, our resources, and stuff like that. So.
Okay. And when you're raising private money for the gap funding, do you typically look for one lender to cover all of it, or do you have multiple lenders?
Yeah, so ultimately we would love one private money lender on it, just so that, it's simple, it's not a lot of paperwork to be done. But I can't tell you that's honestly happened maybe 1 or 2 times just on one certain project. Okay. We like it to keep it to 2 to 3, right? Our usual gap funding is between 300 to 400,000. So to get that from one person isn't always the easiest job. So people have given 100, 50, 200. So bundling them up to about 3 lenders per project, I would say at max, has been kind of our goal.
Okay. And how do you determine who is like first, second, and third on the lien?
So we actually do it on first come, first serve. Okay. So, I used to want to do it based off of how much someone has lent, but because sometimes it comes in at a completely different order, I'm not going to tell you, hey, you might get third position because you don't have as much money lent, but For now, is whoever comes in and whoever's wire comes in first is actually how we record them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like, that way you can tell them, oh, we already have two, so you're going to be the third. Doesn't matter
Right.
how much you give. It's like, it's
Yes.
what it is.
It
I like
builds
that.
actually a sense of urgency for people once they
Yeah.
realize, like, hey, I want to get in on this project. So it actually
Mhm.
helps people move quicker, instead of, maybe I should pull the trigger, maybe I shouldn't. Now we've actually added a little bit of, a sense of urgency.
Okay. And have these all been flips, or have you done any buy and holds with private money lenders?
No, we actually haven't. It's something that we want to get into,
Mhm.
definitely in the near future. But right now, everything has been fix and flips only. So
Okay.
lots of short-term notes, them seeing their money in return, 6 to 12 months.
Okay. And say like if you were to do like a burr or something at that 6 or 12 months, you cash out that one private money lender. Can you go and get another private money lender for another 12-month period and just kind of keep that, like, I guess, carousel going like once every year and get those?
Yeah, that's actually what we've talked about, and that would be the plan into a burst strategy.
Okay.
So yeah, replacing that lender, refining, getting that money out, and then
Mhm.
re-raising, and that's something we've talked about doing, and ultimately we really want to do.
Yeah.
It's just every time we flipped it, we're like, okay, let's just keep going. So I would definitely say in the near maybe 6 to 12 months for sure, we want to go ahead and buy and hold and do this process with them as well.
That's so
Excited for
exciting.
it.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited to watch it and be there along your journey.
Yeah, thank you for sure.
That's awesome. And let me see, I don't want to make sure I got all of my questions here. Um, I guess as we wrap up, is there anything else you wanted to share with everyone? Or actually, let's open it up real quick to any Q&As. If
Sure.
anyone has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I just want to give people a chance just in case.
Yeah.
Had any. Let's see.
Oh, this is so cool. It's first live. I'm like, people are talking.
Love it. I know. It's so funny. I know Alex, my friend Alex said she had some questions, but I don't know if she was able to make it on. I'll tell her to reach out to you. So, I mean, I guess if people have questions that they think of later on, what is the best way for them to reach out to you?
Well, right now, obviously on Instagram, you guys can see my handle at Jasmine Ruidera. You guys can see a lot of projects and stuff, all the updates going on there. If you send me a DM, I can obviously send you my number through there. And we can, talk from there if you have questions or just want to set up a meeting to talk about anything or just learn anything. Obviously, again, we're super transparent. We love to teach and love, people who want to learn. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram and hopefully, we can make a connection there for sure.
Love it. And Jessica asked, what's your favorite part about being an investor?
My favorite part about being an investor, so many. I would say just coming from the restaurant industry and moving toward investing. I think, like you said earlier about win-win situations, I felt like in corporate, it always felt like someone had to lose in order to win, or someone was overworking for someone else to be happy. But I feel like as an investor, um, when you put these teams together, I feel as if, again, we're all working for each other, but yet for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, ultimately working for yourself, you're going to push that much harder. So when you align with people like that, which you get to align yourself with them because as an investor, as an entrepreneur, you get to choose the people you work with almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're not assigned to your favorite boss or anything like that in terms of corporate or anything like that. So being able to surround yourself around like-minded people, around the people you want to surround yourself around. So I think is so crucial in the investing world or just as an entrepreneur itself, right? Is I get to pick and choose the energy I put toward the people that work closely with me. And I think that's my favorite part for sure.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That was a perfect answer. Well, as we wrap up then is okay, so if there was one takeaway you want people to walk away from this live with, what do you want it to be?
One takeaway.
Even though I know they'll take away a lot, but just
Yeah, I hope so.
one.
Definitely hope so. I would definitely say never be afraid to take action because that's when you grow. That's when you learn. I spent a lot of my time just going after what I wanted, and it wasn't always success, right? There's been so many mistakes, there's been so many failures, but we would never know unless we try.
Yeah.
And so I think that the amount I've learned, and our team has learned from just going for it and just knowing, hey, everything's going to be okay on the other side. I just have to try it. I have to try it. I have to apply what I've learned. Again, I've seen so many people be in analysis paralysis, and I get it. I totally get it. It's scary. It honestly is. But once you get over that fear, I think it is so beautiful on the other side, because even if it didn't work out well, you're sitting there like, man, I learned so much, and I can't wait, to get another deal or to go through something similar and rise above that and learn from what I did to hopefully not make that mistake again. But take action. Definitely take action, because we're all just going to be, kind of in the same place if we don't. And if you're staying in the same place, you're not growing. And I think that, ultimately that's what life's all about, whether it be you as a better person or as a better business person or as a better partner or anything like that. Like, you got to take action for you to learn and grow. So if I could take anything away from this, go after it. Literally go after whatever it is. Go on the trip that you've been wanting to go on. Go ask that first private money lender you've never asked. Buy your first flip, buy your first home, go after it, and I guarantee you're going to learn something through the process. Yeah.
Mic drop. That was perfect. That is a perfect way to end this amazing live. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing and just walking us through that process. Because I think that honestly that helped me a lot, and I know it's gonna help a ton of people in here. So thank you so much for just taking the time to come on and share your wisdom and all of your knowledge with us. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me on here. Again, first live ever. I was a little nervous, but you made it really easy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, honestly.
You did amazing.
Thank you. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. And people know where to find you at Jasmine Ruidera on Instagram.
Yes.
And I'll talk
Shoot me a DM. Follow me. All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.